All right, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. This right here is my lovely post-market wrap-up on this Tuesday, March 9th, 2021. People, how many of you would believe that this market is possessed? The market actually is possessed, and I want to talk about that. Well, let's define what possession is. Possession is when, let's say, one entity is being taken over or overtaken by another entity. That, to me, is the definition of possession here. Okay. Now, we had a market today that was all over the place. The Dow Jones Industrial Average at one point was up over 300 points. We finished higher, but only by about 29 points. The NASDAQ today was the big winner. We're talking about a 3.69% gain at the close. S&P 500 about 1.4%. Okay. Why? What's going on here? Why is this market continuing to, I don't know, seem like it is unstoppable, moving to the upside? Is it that we're in a really, really good economic recovery? Or are we still being forced to wear face diapers and be locked up in our houses? Is it because debts and deficits are shrinking? How about no? Our debts and deficits are ballooning as the Federal Reserve, which is the entity that has possessed these markets, every aspect of them, they're running the show. The Federal Reserve, literally, and every way you want to look at it, right now, today, is the lender and buyer of last resort. This has been their goal, number one, since their inception in 1913. What a break. What a miracle for the Federal Reserve that we just happened to get this global pandemic, shut down the global economy, cripple it, kill the money velocity, shut down small businesses to the tune of like 70%. We have unemployment levels, Great Depression, but no. It's all by accident, of course. And this has now allowed the Fed to finish what they wanted to do since their inception. So you have to understand what I'm talking about. The market literally is possessed. It is possessed by an entity here that, in my view, is straight out of hell. And I am not kidding. The Federal Reserve, they're not human. None of these things that dwell in the halls of the Federal Reserve, they're not human. And they are determined to own it all. And they are. And also manifest the largest wealth transfer the world has ever seen on an epic scale. And that's the real reason why we have a stock market that seems unstoppable. Again, today the Dow hit another intraday record high. The entire market is going to not just hit all-time record highs very soon, but go right through them. This is the effect of the market being possessed by literally a demonic force. I don't know another way to put this here. The Federal Reserve, they're not just public enemy number one. The Federal Reserve is, it's an entity, in my view, that is evil to the core of its being. They are driving an asset bubble, asset bubbles, like we've never seen before, rigging every aspect of the market that you can possibly imagine via the banks. Oh, did you hear this one? The banks now just won a regulatory argument. They can now inflate their balance sheets about $500 billion with no regulatory oversight. Oh, no. Did you know that the banks, this is kind of old news, but last year, the banks can now operate with no capital reserves. Yeah, you heard that right. If you don't believe me, look it up. I posted articles to this today, but again, I don't know how many of you actually understand what's going on. But the financial markets being run by or being possessed I guess, by the Federal Reserve, they can do whatever they want to. They are working very diligently to foster that wealth transfer effect that we've been seeing going on for a very long time. They have warned about would come. Well, it's here now. Taking over the world. They're making up the rules as they go, but you got to focus on the coronavirus and wearing a face diaper. Don't focus on what the banks are doing right in your face. No, you're not supposed to know any of that. Absolutely not. You're supposed to think it's great. We're in some kind of a recovery here. And this is just a utopian society. Right? That's what they're telling us. This is, we have, these things. They're not human either. That they parade out on the financial channels, the news channels. Oh, we are doing great. This lie here was propagated during the election. It got a lot worse. V-shaped recovery, super V-shaped recovery. We've never seen a recovery like this before. Does this sound familiar? Someone with a very bad complexion was trying to sell you that lie, also from hell. We all know where lies come from. Lies come from one place. They don't come from a really nice place. No, lies come from a very dark place, especially when it's propagated to millions and millions and millions of people. It makes it worse, in my view. A lie is a lie, yes, but when it's propagated on an epic scale, I think it carries a little more weight. I think most of you would probably agree with that. So again, crazy market today. Higher across the board. NASDAQ, the big winner here. That 10-year yield, people, coming down. Now again, who on earth, is buying this debt? It's not anyone on earth, It's the Federal Reserve. It's a demonic force here that is buying the debt, keeping rates down. You're not supposed to know any of that, but that's exactly what is going on, because nobody, no trader, no investor is going to get in here and buy the debt. When you buy debt, yields come down. No one is buying this with a market that is, it's a raging bull market. I mean, this obvious who is doing this, and what they're trying to achieve, to buy it all, to own the world. This is really it. This is really, really it. You got cryptocurrencies today taking off. Bitcoin over 54,000. Major cryptos all higher today. You got the dollar here weaker today. Gold and silver did well. Crude oil, Keep your eyes on crude, people. Crude got hit again. It's not much. It's down anyway, but this literally scares the living hell out of me. I don't like seeing crude oil fall like this, because what do? You know who they are. Again, this is the banks. This is the Federal Reserve. This is OPEC. The other non-human entities here. They will prop up crude oil. They will kill, maim, slaughter, whatever they got to do to keep the price of crude oil high. All right, that's to prop up this market, the energy sector, the financial sector, the banks. This is how it works. It's really twisted. And everything I'm explaining to you is factually provable. Right? This is the way it is. I think you all know that if you've been following my work. I've outlined this, a gazillion times. But keep your eyes on these things. And again, I'm going to urge you to raise your awareness. Understand what's going on. Look around you. Keep your eyes open. Listen for the lies, the propaganda. Look, we all have a God-given intellect. That's the truth. When you hear something that just doesn't feel right, that doesn't hit you the right way, that's your God-given gift, your intellect, to say, you know something? It's not right. You understand? So you don't have to be like a psychic or something. You already have a God-given intellect. Use it. Use it to pick out the nonsense, the garbage, the propaganda, the fake news, the misinformation. I mean, this is all we have going on here. And we are living in a time, in a takeover. This is it. This is honestly a takeover of the world by central banks, none more so than the Fed, because the U.S. dollar is the world reserve currency. And again, this market is literally possessed right now and giddy on the promise of more easy money, suppressed rates, freak show. This is the Fed buying the debt market right now. No one's buying it. Nobody is buying debt here, okay? In a raging bull market. No one's doing it. So it's one entity and one entity alone. And that is the freaking demonic Federal Reserve. Understand? I think you got that. All right, look, I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about here. Very important stuff. Maybe watch this video twice. Let it sink in, really. Understand what you are seeing. Pay attention to what's going on around you, and do yourself the biggest favor. Turn off the mainstream media, the mainstream channels, because they're all possessed too, because they're all being paid off, and they're being paid to spread lies and propaganda. You understand? And that's not where you want to be. All right. This guy here loves you a lot. Please share the video. Get it out there as far and wide as you possibly can. And I will see you in the morning, and I'm looking forward to it. See you then.